Let me fire off an invite to Bobby, and we will get started with this post whatchamacallit, trade deadline slate. Okay. We got one little sweat here I want to share with you in a second. So we have like a $5,000 sweat in horse racing. We need a couple of long shots to come in. So I'll share the screen with you when that starts. What's up, Bob?
Hey,
what's up, Bob? Okay, so we got a little horse racing sweat that we have to deal with first.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, for like 5,000. Pretty good. So
that would be nice.
I need one of three long shots to come in here, and the race is going to go off in about a minute. So I'll share the screen with you when that happens.
I like it.
Yeah. So I updated projections. That's about 10-15 minutes ago. I don't know what news has come in since then. Pretty active trade deadline. Maybe before tomorrow we'll just talk about the basketball implications of it. I'd rather just kind of focus in on the like the DFS aspects of it for tonight's slate right now. First of all, I mean, what I didn't even realize.
Well, how about the Heat Thigala with a great start here?
Oh, I'm dead. I'm not even worried about that.
What? Oh, I am. I got 20% of him. He's 1% owned, and he's 5 under through 8.
Well, I'm just saying that I'm dead in general in golf. I just stopped looking. That's all I'm saying.
Can you get it? Oh, because the beginning. But you never know. Burger's not like Burger can still make the cut.
Yeah, we'll see. My one guy, my Charlie Hoffman, I have like 30% of him.
Oh, that's a good one. I actually ended up with like 15% of Kopka, but it was more just because I feel like because no one was doing it. Anyway, but I do have some pretty strong thoughts. But while you're doing your horse race thing, I'll really quickly go through my.
Go for it. How many Washingtons?
So I think the answer is 2 or more. I don't think it has to, because the one thing about them is they, unlike some of the other teams, they actually have bodies. Like a guy like Joel Ajayi. Ajayi may play some. Cassius Winston can play some. They have other bodies, but the thing is, I like this game to be close. Brooklyn has been the worst team in the NBA, and even without all these guys, I think that you start with Kuzma and Neto, and then you find a third one. And if you want to, what I'm going to do is run it back with Patty Mills, and I will run it back a little bit with Kyrie. I don't like this Kyrie play that I'm making. I feel like it's going to be way more popular than it should be, but I am going to go with some of that. But I feel like 2 or more of those. I think you're going to try and want to run one net back. I think that the Raptors, you want to play at least one if you can. Siakam being my favorite, followed by Trent, OG, and Barnes. But those 3 are all really close for me. And then Banton, obviously, is the other value play you could use in addition. We need a starting lineup, really. But Luka and Giannis are my priority spend-ups. And that's basically where I am. And I think we're on a pretty good spot here.
Right. So we're gonna pause basketball for a second. Okay. So we need the 4, 5, and the 6. One of those 3.
How long is the race? It's been so long since I've been to the races. Is this like one of the 90-second ones or something?
Yeah, it'll take 2 seconds. We need the 4, the 5, or the 6 cashes for like somewhere between 5,000 and 7,000. So we got that to root for. But they're all long shots. But between the 3 of them, they probably have about 20% chance to win between all 3. So we got a shot.
Let's go.
Yeah. So already one of them just kind of dropped to the back. You see the 4 kind of already struggling in the back, and the 5 is second to last. So we just kind of have to hope that this whole race just kind of falls apart up here at the front. And one of our guys just kind of comes from behind. I'm not going to have the whole sound going on, but whatever. So you see all those guys. Actually, the 5 looks like he's kind of in the mix. So let's just see what happens here. Okay, so the 3 and the 1. None of these guys. We really need the race to fall apart, and these guys just kind of come from behind. So
5 is still right there.
Yeah, the 5 is doing fine. He looks to be taking over. Let's see. Now the 5 is coming from. It's kind of like a bad call here. Let's see. We need none of these guys. All right, let's see it fan out and somebody come from behind.
Come on. Oh no. Saved the burst a little too late.
Doesn't look like it. So whoever that is going to get there. Bad. Yeah, so that looks like the 3, right? Yeah. Can't even tell. Anyway, so that's so much for that. back to basketball.
Yeah, hey, what's up to my man Nicholas in the Dunbar in chat? He's hope it's an LA hat. It's an LA hat. Can you see that? It's got the initials. It's just all black LA, but it is an LA hat. All right, so I went through my plays. It doesn't look like I don't actually know how many people because I'm not watching on our restream, but I really think those are the decisions you have to make. I'm happy to go through. I think Kelly Olynyk is the pivot off of all the Wizards chalk, but I guess Bryant would be the most direct. So my strategy, that's to get some lines for them two together in it. But yeah, Bryant is, I really think like the thing about Bryant tonight is I really think what I said on my video earlier about him is true. You can score. He literally has he can only end up with 15 fantasy points tonight, but he also could score 45. I don't know how many minutes they're going to give him. The matchup is as good as the matchup can get. I really think that he's actually being under projected for his median. And I think the ownership will be higher on him. Can I ask you what you have the ownership on Brian as?
30.
Yeah, I think that's even like lower than I would have thought. The thing is, you don't need to play big, and they can use Rui as center. So my way is you can play those guys together, but I think you could split those guys up just as easily. I think that makes a lot of sense, because you could get Rui at the 5. I really like Rui today, and I think he's going to be the lowest owned of them.
I definitely think that's true.
But I don't entirely understand why. Like, you have another guy who can actually create offense, who's good in transition against a fast team. He hasn't had the chance lately to rebound. I mean, he's had Harrell and Gafford and Brian out there. Like, he doesn't, he's not getting the 5 minutes. If he gets the 5 minutes tonight, his 24-minute projection could become 30. And if he plays 30 in this type of matchup, he played 26 in the last game, I think he could really have a big day. Oh, Hadwin with the big one. Wow. So I really like those. I like all of, look, obviously it's hard not to like the Washington side of everything, but I think that if you're playing 150, you enter one with a Yai in there because there is an outside chance that he ends up getting more of a role. And again, we don't have the starting lineup yet for this. And the only guys I'm playing in the first game are Diallo, assuming that he starts, and Kelly Olynyk. I think that Corey Joseph is fine.
Why is Grant out?
No, Grant is not out.
Okay.
He's fine on FanDuel. If he's 5,200, I would play him over there if it was me, which it is me. So that's what I'm doing.
I'm trying to think of how many of these guys to play. The Washington.
Yeah, I think that the common answer will be 3 for tournaments. I think that you could play 4 and run it back. And by the way, I have a lot. I'm giving away my lineup right here. And I don't think I'm going to change it, so I'm okay with it. But it's weird because it's in a big buy-in, so I feel a little weird. But I'll give away most of it. Basically, pick 4 of the Washingtons, play it with Mills on the other side, play Luka and Giannis. And I don't think Mills is going to be as owned as he should be. I think it for his upside. So I like the Mills run back idea, and I think he'll be like in the 10% range. But if Kyrie really stays low, I will jump a little bit on that. I do feel like Kyrie is the kind of player where like at 9,400, sure, like it makes a lot, but it's like he doesn't get to like 70 very often, even when he's had great situations. This is a great situation, and he should have all the usage. But like Patty Mills can take up some usage. Cam Thomas can. So I want to mix those guys in, including like even Blake, which sucks, but. Again, he's not going to be that owned, and I just think one of these Nets guys puts up 40, one of these cheapy ones, and or the 3,500 guy like Bembry puts up 30 maybe, but actually the guy who's not going to project that well, who I like is if he starts is Bruce Brown, but I don't think we have a starting lineup yet for them.
Yeah, I think just so you guys know, my big buy, and I'm doing it a little differently. What I'm doing is. What I said earlier, I'm going to be playing Giannis and Chris Paul or Giannis and Booker, and then just kind of and then play the Washington guys just for value and stuff, and not really stack the other side of that. That's just like kind of a different way to do it.
Yeah, I have 0 non-Giannis lineups at the moment.
Okay, there you go.
I have one. I really am going to trust my reads more, and I really think that he's the better spend up. But I like playing him with Luka. And you could still play Kuzma and Mill, like, you know what I mean? You could still get in like
Right.
a real other game stack and play Luka and Giannis. So if that game stack hits and you get your 250 from that, you're going to get 150 from Luka and Giannis enough of the time here to where you could literally be looking like a 400. If
I've
you
got
get
I've got a couple of plays that I want to run by you, just like random values.
Did I say Bembry? By the way, I didn't mean Bembry. I said, no, did I say Bembry? I did not mean Bembry. I meant Brown and Edwards. Sorry, go ahead.
Got a couple of guys I'm getting more than 10% of that I want to run by you. One is the big from Toronto, Banton.
He's either a big or a guard, depending on which site.
Oh, guard. Sorry about that. Sorry, he's a guard. Sorry.
No, I mean he's a freaking power forward on FanDuel. Like it's so weird. You have a point guard only and a power forward only sheets. You don't see that very often, but it seems to be these Toronto guys every time. I do like Banton, so I think that but I don't think you should be playing him unless he starts over Neto, assuming Neto starts. I think you should be.
I'm gonna have them both.
You have them both.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way that I'm tending to go.
I don't have any lineups without Neto in it right now.
I'm trying to find arguments to maybe middle out and then play other parts, but it really feels stupid. Like, I mean, just to be honest, like I'm consciously trying. And what do you think that Neto's going to be owned?
60.
You don't think it'll be like in the high buy-in? I would bet it'd be 80 plus.
All right, whatever. You know,
I'm just guessing. He's got a 10x projection, basically. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he like does stuff. Like, I mean, it's also a good matchup. You know what I mean? It would take like a guy. It would take foul trouble with him, and then a Yai has to come in or something to really kill him. Or KCP runs the point when he gets foul trouble or something like that would have to happen. And KCP, a guy who I don't play, I'm going to mix him in. I'm going to be playing. I mean, the projections I'm looking at, I'll be overweight on all the Washington guys. But I don't think you need to play like all four together again unless you have the run back. That's the way I would do it. I wouldn't play more than three together without a run back. More than three. Three, I think you can do without a run back, but I don't think you should play four. And I love the call you made, who's going to be totally overlooked on this slate now. I don't even buy the projection on him, is Randall. I love Siakam, and I think that's a priority. But why can't Randall at least score the same as Siakam here? They're going to need him a lot more than even without what's his name? I mean, without Van Vliet, it's not like they don't have other creators. And Anunoby, they'll just turn into his old creator. Gary Trent can shoot it. He'll take up some usage, and then Scotty Barnes plays point guard. And then they've got Banton, who is actually pretty good. So I think Randall is an interesting pivot off of what should be a very chalky Siakam. And I think in those lineups, what I would do is I'm still probably going to try and stick to my trying to play one of these no matter what from Toronto. But I'm happy to mix in Anunoby and Barnes at much lower ownership than Gary Trent. And I really think if you're playing large field, you should definitely, whether he starts or not, if he starts, he's going to be really popular at Boucher. But if he doesn't start, man, I think you should take shots on Boucher today.
I would like to know who's starting for the Knicks, but we're not going to know that yet.
Well, that's the other interesting one that I think is way less interesting, but because of it, nobody's going to get ownership. You're going to get Kemba at 3,900, possibly starting in an up-tempo game where they're underdogs, where you're going to need him scoring, so he'll try and take his early shots. What if he just starts hitting them? What if he makes 3 threes in the first quarter?
I literally can't imagine not playing one of those guards between Burks, Walker, and Quickly.
What about Grimes?
What about who?
Grimes. That's the problem. Is there's too many guards.
Yeah.
Like, I think what you're saying would make sense for a normal slate, but I don't think it makes sense for this slate. But by the way, it'll be reflected in the ownership. You're not going to get ownership on Quickly. You're not going to get ownership. Quickly and Burks.
Because all that ownership is going to go to the Washington guys.
What's that?
All that ownership is going to the Washington guys.
Right, exactly. So if you play those guys in addition, and then you could do the triple spend up thing if you want to. You really could. It's very doable today. But I like the idea of getting
I'm just looking. I see that we have these 2 games at 10 o'clock, right? And I got one idea is the Giannis, Chris Paul, Giannis Booker idea. The other one is something funny with the Knicks guards, And if you did that, Then you could play Randall, like you said.
Yeah, and you could use Steph as an easy pivot. I mean, look, right now I'm looking at similar projections on him and Kyrie. I just don't buy that. I think Kyrie's going to be owned, and Steph won't be that owned by the end of the night.
Yeah.
So you can run it back. You can play one guard with Randall and then run it back. The problem is, if you're going to do that, I would recommend you play Burks instead of Kemba, because Kemba, when he's on, tends to take away from everyone else. Burks doesn't.
Yeah.
But Kemba, I mean, literally, this is like the weirdest 3,900 play ever. People are going to say how terrible this is. You should, if you're playing a bunch of lineups, you absolutely should mix in Kemba. All it takes is him making a few shots to start. We saw this story. How many times does something have to happen in one season, Sheets, where we've seen this exact same thing happen, right? With Kemba, where he's out of the mix, he's out of this, everything, he's coming back, he's whatever, he's 0.0 whatever percent owned, and he puts up 55 fantasy.
The only thing is that the times where they gave it to him, I don't think that any other guards could play.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Well, no, but they didn't. That's not totally true. I mean, they had Barrett at the time.
Right. That's true.
That's a big one.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not sitting here saying you should play Kemba like in your main lineups, but if you're mixing in lineups, you should absolutely mix Kemba. If you're playing 20 lineups, Kemba should be in one of them.
And I'd like to, tell everybody, for those who didn't notice, and we were, every day we're really ramping up the site over the next, literally as we speak. And one of the things that Mark added was the Twitter feed within the Discord. So, pretty much all the news is going to get blasted in there. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff happening. We're going to have the videos done too, and we're going to have a backdrop for this video. We're going to be able to make it so you can see all the screens with sheets, and we can talk through things a little easier. We're making a lot of changes, and it's going to take some time, so bear with us, but we're doing our best, and we've got a team now together that's actually starting to make some things happen every day. And you notice the Discord's all organized and everything now. We're going to make it more organized. And we've got, we're going to get it anyway.
Nick Claxton is out.
I was hoping that wasn't going to happen.
And then some of these others, and Eric Gordon is out.
Yeah.
Tyler Hero questionable.
I knew Nick Claxton was going to be out, but I'd really hate this situation because it makes me want to play Blake. Just feels wrong. I guess you include Blake as one of your run backs in that game that I was talking about.
Yeah, I don't play him.
I understand. But I mean, just all of these Nets who are going to be lower owned because of what they're playing against.
Right.
I mean, and the truth is the Nets actually have less bodies than the Wizards do.
Maybe I will only play 3 Washingtons.
I wouldn't play 4 without a run back personally, but that's just the way I'd play. I mean, all right. Bembry was waived. Yeah, he was right. Bembry, yeah, exactly. It was a mispronunciation on my part. Kispert or Pope. So I actually prefer KCP a little bit, but in some lineups that I built, I actually needed the extra 500. But I think KCP is the better cash game play, the better standard play. He'll be more owned. But I think Kispert has every right to get every way to get there. I mean, somebody else other than Kuzma is going to get there tonight. It's at least, maybe probably 2
right.
But I mean, they're still favorites in this game, right? That's crazy. Favorites against the Eastern Conference co-favorite to win it all without your point guard, without all your guys, basically.
Right.
Your 2 best players, I guess, or your 2 former best players. All right. Do I like anything from the Memphis-Detroit game? I have a little bit of Desmond Bane because I love the ceiling, and I have a little bit of I mentioned Bane earlier. I'm sorry, I mentioned earlier I like Olynyk, and I like Diallo. I think Diallo has a high ceiling, assuming that he starts. Now, if he doesn't start, it's a little shakier now, but there's no Josh Jackson here anymore either. So the Cade Cunningham thing is a big deal. And there's no there's Saban Lee. You could see a really weird starting lineup from Detroit that would shift some of this value. Because if Saban Lee got the start out of the blue, that's a guy who can put up 40 plus fantasy points. I think he put up 50 earlier this year. but I don't think it's like ideal. I think it's like a pivot off of the other ones. And Corey Joseph, not on this slate for me, but Diallo, Jeremy Grant on FanDuel. I think even Bay is very viable to put up a number, but I don't think I would do it. I think I would stick with the those guys, Olenek, Diallo, and then see who else is starting before I decide if I was going to play anybody else. That's basically it. I do like Olenek a ton, though. I really think like I'm amazed, but the problem is now everybody does. His projection is shooting up, and he hasn't had the game yet when he came back. So I thought we'd get him at low ownership today, and it's just
Right.
kind of frustrating because I really, really like him. Like I think that there's a chance that he puts up a really big score, and I thought he was a great pivot. But maybe because there's so many interesting bodies. I mean, there's legitimately like 7 guys from Washington that are all very close in consideration, with the exception of Neto probably being a little bit ahead, assuming that he starts. Kuzma, and that's really it. Everybody else is sort of up in the air, you know.
What time is the Washington game? Is that the first one?
The Washington game is the second game. It's 7:30. Okay.
And when do you think that starters are getting announced for that? Probably after 7, right?
Yeah. JaVale McGee, if you play, hey, good luck to you if you play him. That would be the perfect example of trying to chase something.
That's a bad play.
But yeah, I mean, like, there's no way he makes any logical sense, but he does. Like, maybe he gets the minutes. Maybe I don't know. You need DeAndre Ayton to get in foul trouble.
Right. I was only thinking about it because we were talking about playing Ayton earlier. I had in my head, like bigs against Milwaukee. But yeah, you're right.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine. Well, I mean, bigs against Milwaukee really is sort of like an overrated thing. But it's just that Milwaukee plays a ton of pace, so they get like, you're gonna have opportunities to get big fantasy.
Right.
But I think Ayton is the guy who gets overlooked for Phoenix, and he's 6,600, and he can put up 50 fantasy points. So he is the one I would have the most interest in. I wouldn't be playing McGee anywhere. But again, like McGee has these guys. There's guys out there that can put up those fluky numbers. But we have so many guys we already know tonight are going to have. Some of them are going to hit that number, that 8x, that 10x, that kind of stuff, or somewhere in that range. That to try and take a chance on a guy just because he's playing, there's no like advantage for McGee, even with Jalen Smith gone.
How much Luka do you have?
A lot.
Yeah, I don't have much. I have like 25.
Yeah, I've got him in a pretty good share of my lineups. Let's see. For some reason, my thing isn't updating the exact percentages. Otherwise, I would tell you the exact number. But again, I'm playing him with Giannis. Right. Booker with Giannis and my other ones. I also like Sengun a lot tonight. The other guys who I'm sort of considering in addition to my main core are Sengun, Green, or KPJ, Kevin Porter Jr. I like all 3 of those guys. And I think they're all gonna, have varying ownerships, but I think they all have massive upside.
Yeah.
Booker, CP3, or Ayton, I mentioned that. Curry, I mentioned that. And then the Burks or any of the Knicks guards are sort of the things I'm looking at. But if you're playing like things like McGee or guys like that, you can play like one giant field like tournament lineup with them. You could do that. I just don't think you should, like, if you're playing like 20 lineups, they shouldn't be in like 15. They should be in 1 at the most. And even that, I feel like I'm not going to get there, but I understand if someone else wants to take that shot. As I do if someone wants to take the shot with Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson was likely going to be out, but I was going to say with, I guess, it would be Taj Gibson again, which feels really gross, but I don't think they need to do that in this match. I don't know. The Knicks are interesting to me tonight, but it's interesting more because no one's going to play them.
So I'm looking at my golfs, and like you said, if I can get Berger in, this is kind of a cool one. This has got Alex Noren. Remember I mentioned him at 1%? He's -5. This also has Hoffman in it at 3%, who's -4, and Louis at -4. I just need to get the good players going. And I just need Berger. I need Berger to get going.
Yeah. Sounds like some of mine too.
They're going to be -1 maybe tomorrow, maybe -2.
Probably -1 would probably be the favorite right now. I think somewhere between even and -2, depending on the wind. Aaron Wise is just all over the place today. Jesus, buddy.
Yeah, he sure is, huh?
He cruise back. He got the 3 birdies and 4 holes, and oh my God, Hadwin just got the 5 under also. That was my other guy. 35% Hadwin, so that's good.
I just need one 6 for 6. That's all I want. It's all I want.
Yeah, that's all you need, apparently.
All I need is one. That's it.
All right, let's see if there's any more questions. I'm gonna get out of here in a few minutes. Do I like Kleber on FanDuel? Haven't really run into Kleber. I think I'd prefer the Washington guys. I guess is the best way I can put it. Sheets, are you getting to Kleber on FanDuel?
I'm not playing FanDuel tonight. I probably wouldn't though. Actually, that could be an interesting exercise. Let's do that. So I'm not playing. I can even do this. I'm gonna run a build on FanDuel, and let's see what I would play if I were playing. How about that? So I'm not playing, but this is what would happen.
I play on FanDuel, but Kyle Lowry stands out. Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes is going to end up with like 5 or 6 stocks in this game.
So here's an interesting question. So if I ran it just like my normal projections, I'll give it a little bit of juice. Well, who do you think will be the highest owned? You think Lowry? Well, it'd be Washington guy, right?
Neto.
Okay.
I think it'd be Neto.
All right, let's see what we got. So if I ran 150, the highest owned player would actually be Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Let me just see something real quick.
Because you could play all these other guys. So Kyrie Irving would be. If I played 150, I would get 70%.
Yeah, 9,400 over here is a little different. So it definitely makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Still feels fishy to me.
It does, right?
Like, it just feels like there's just so many plays on this slate that I really like. And do I need to? Like, I like Luka and Giannis a ton, but maybe I don't need them together everywhere. I really like the idea of running Patty Mills back at 0% owned on over there, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it.
Okay, so I hate to tell you this. You know what I just did?
What's that?
This is the ultimate Sheets play. I just won 100,000 because I just decided that I was just going to play 40 lineups in like just the lottery, just with this exact build without even. So
then that's how you win it. That's right.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I got it. I like it.
Yeah, that's the end of that. Who are these guys that I'm playing? Oh, I've heard of these guys. Okay, definitely heard of these guys. I don't have that. Who's the guy? The Asahi, whatever his name is.
Ayayi.
No, I don't have him.
I didn't think so. I don't think anything's spitting him out, but
right. Well, that's. I guess those are the ones you need. I guess.
Yeah.
And then when I'm struggling, then I'm gonna go. Well, then I'm gonna go load up on Kemba. Right. That's the story. Okay.
I guess so.
I want to see who's starting in that game for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in a minute because I gotta finish building my lineups. I'm getting a little distracted as it is, but I will try to answer whatever questions are in there in the meantime.
What kind of showdown? Hey, where's Carmen? Where are the showdowns?
Oh, I posted it.
So this is the Milwaukee game, huh? And the Orlando, Utah. No, just the Milwaukee game. That's the big one, right?
Yep.
What is a guy like Giannis like owned in that? Is it like 100? I mean, it can't be 100, but
wait, in what? In which?
In like the Milwaukee showdown. It's got to be over 90, right? I mean,
yeah, I would imagine it's 98 to 99 usually.
Right. it's
usually how it ends up. I wonder if Precious starts tonight.
Grayson Allen is questionable. Or he's probable.
Yeah, I think he's going to play. All right, any other questions? Let's see before I jump and finish my lineups. It's hard to build lineups on the stream when I'm trying to research everything too, but I am in Discord saying everything. Sheets, there was a question that you asked that he's saying he was confused, but I don't know which question that is though.
I just can't do the quick explanation of the sheets right now. I'm sorry. There's a video on the site that goes through all of it. It's basically an aggregation of industry projections that have been weighted based on which models have been more accurate than others, and it's just kind of combined to one sheet that summarizes all of it. That's the best I can describe it quickly. This is fantasy points in column E, points per dollar in column F, sheets value score, which is kind of a semi-complicated way that I balance both upside and points per dollar, projected ownership, and projected minutes on the right. And you could do a lot of things with this. You could upload this to an optimizer. You could just gaze at it, or whatever. But if you go to TrudyInvest.com, I'm pretty sure that you could get that, at least that video, pretty quickly, and you can sign up, first whatever for free. I guess I don't even know what the deal is now.
All right. Good luck, everybody. And to answer one last question, Javon Carter, I don't think it's a good play. Sheets, good luck tonight. Hopefully somebody takes it down. Let us know, and I'll be in Discord. So if there's any questions that pop up or any thoughts, Sheets, if anything happens, I'll text you. And
Yeah.
All right.
Any other questions here? Again, if those of you that showed up, also, I did upload the new hockey sheets, and I did post in Discord my views over there. There's not one team that I'm particularly loaded up on. I have some Ottawa, some Toronto, some Pittsburgh, and no stack is over 40% over there. So yeah. What else do we have? Just some announcements. We have MMA video is going to go up within the next, either later tonight or tomorrow. MMA projections, the sheets will go up probably more tomorrow. The LOL always kind of goes up, just usually before I crash, depending on how many games there are or whatever. Let me see what tennis would be like. For tennis, we don't really have anything coming up. Let me just double check the esports. Yeah, esports is a 5-game slate, starts at 2 a.m. So I'll put something up before I go to sleep. But again, the normal disclosures. I mean, anything that happens after I put the sheets up is just out of my control. I mean, it's always out of my control, but I'm not going to be updating it in the middle of the night. Any soccer tomorrow? No, but soccer will be Saturday. Watch for DFS Chan giving his updates there. NASCAR, not for another 10 days, but I hope to have Brandon Cruz and Pierce on here to talk about that. Golf is continuing to plug away. The Super Bowl, right. So the Super Bowl is Sunday. So Bobby and I are going to do a showdown slate thing. Bobby wanted to talk about the props, but I mean, to be honest with you guys, none of it really interests me. And I really would not give you any edge at all. I mean, if you wanted my opinion, you're better off just flipping the coin. I mean, I really have no lean on any of these like yards props or anything like that. It would really just be my gut, and that's you really don't want that. But we can talk about the showdown tomorrow. That could be fun. And as far as who I like in the Super Bowl, I really, really have no idea. I'm sure the line's pretty solid. I will say that the public money seems to be on the Bengals, and these quote unquote sharp money is coming in on the Rams. If that means anything to anybody, really doesn't mean anything to me. I have my own thoughts on sharp money, and I think the NFL is just hopelessly efficient, and to try to beat the NFL against the spread is nearly impossible. But what can I say? I mean, Bobby's been killing it in the basketball in the last for a long period of time. Apparently, last like several weeks. And just for fun. I mean, you're go ahead and I like playing the squares. As long as you're going to have no edge anyway, may as well really just cut all the skill out. It's like when I go to the casino. See, my favorite game in the casino is roulette. By a lot. Like, roulette, that's all luck. I'm like, it's all luck. What the hell? At least roulette, I know what I'm getting into. I know that whatever I do is like minus 3% or whatever. I don't have to think about it. Well, why worry about playing? Why worry about working hard at blackjack to get a 0% edge when you could just, play roulette. It's a hell of a lot more fun. That's what I say. Mark, that's what I was going to say. That's going to be our next thing. We're going to launch a roulette X Factor where we give advice on how to beat roulette. I'll actually leave you. This actually is a real story. Every year I would go to Atlantic City with a buddy of mine. He would bring his friend. We always have like 4 or 5 guys go. We drive down. And this kid, his father, literally had a roulette table wheel down in his basement. And he spent about 15 years like spinning the wheel like 2 hours a night and tracking like results. Like the movie Pi, like trying to come up with like patterns and stuff like that, and operating on the theory that no roulette wheel is 100% perfect, and if one thing comes in, it's like more likely that thing comes in the next time, depending on whatever it is. I mean, it's really a sad story. Okay, but the funny thing is that the son like sort of believed it. So every year, the 2 things I look forward to every year was the car ride down to Atlantic City, where with his name, let's call him John. When John would explain to us like how the roulette system works and how it worked and how it was plus EV. And my second favorite part was the drive back, where he would explain the only reason we lost is because it wasn't a big enough sample size. Every single year, same thing. So I do feel bad, but yeah, I mean, my slots is awesome. As long as you know what's going on. You like the sweat. I mean, I don't like when you pull it down, you don't even know what you're rooting for. But slots, very cool. Very cool slots. Roulette. These people that like play blackjack and count cards. I did that once. I counted cards. And it takes like so much effort to like generate a 1% edge. If I'm going to operate my brain, first of all, I don't want to do it in a casino. You know what I mean? Like, I got much better use of my brain than a goddamn casino. If you want to know the truth, just to generate a 1% edge. No thanks. Fine by me. And now I can't go to casinos if they have cigarettes anyway. So I can't be in that. What else? I guess that's all I got. You saw me fail with the horse racing. Maybe you'll see me fail with the DFS tonight. Failure is part of it. I guess that's pretty much it. As you guys know, I probably am not going to be around tomorrow. I usually don't do the live stream with Bobby tomorrow, so you'll see me in you see the various videos that we put out. You'll see the various sheets we put out, and I'm sure you'll see me pop in the Discord many times from now until the end of the weekend. So that's it. Good luck, everybody, and watch for Bobby's comments in the Discord as things